Now we're going to go to zone. We already have one zone. This is our analog zone. It says analog here. Remember I put analog in the personality? That's going to appear there. If I change it, there's our NXDN. If I change it again, there's our P25. Analog. So zone 1, I'm going to call it AN. I'm going to call it 1 AN analog. Okay, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put a frequency. 450 for my transmit. 450 for my receive. Can't change the analog because it's stuck in analog only. I'm going to have high power. I'm going to select a tone. In this case, I can do wide or narrowband on this particular software. Narrowband is standard. I'm going to put in a channel name. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see how many digits I can go to. So that many digits. Alright, scan list, I'm not going to worry about that. Emergency information, keys, assignment zone, I'm not going to worry about that either. And you have 1 through 512 channels per zone. It's a 1,000 channel radio. It can be upgraded to 4,000 channels. Okay, next I'm going to go to zone edit. If I want a home channel, this is where I would select it. Key assignment primary. This allows you to have the buttons in a primary or secondary formation. I would stick with primary because it would get really confusing to the user if this button did one thing in one thing in the primary and one thing in the secondary. It could get confusing as to what that button really does, and they could get lost very easily. So I like primary. We're not going to do any emergency stuff today. Scan type. We're going to do multiple zones, so I'm going to have a multiple zone scan type. I don't mess with any of this or that. Now I'm going to go to channel edit. Over here. Now I'm on channel number 1 of my zone. There's my frequency I put in. Channel type is an analog. Transmit power is high. It is added to the scan list. Don't care about the emergency stuff. Yeah, key assignment. Zone common. Keep everything common. Talk around key. If we decide to put a talk around key on here and we put in a repeater, we could hit that and would turn it into a direct simplex or car to car. They all mean the same thing. There's our tones. Again, there's our narrow. This is just, there's more options in this window. Busy channel lockout. What that means is if the channel is busy, it won't let a user talk over them. I generally keep that as no, because if it's a public safety deal and 2 cops need to talk at the same time and let the dispatcher know that they both got a problem, dispatcher can at least know that somebody else has a problem as well. Optional signaling. Okay. Here's where we could put in a 2-tone. If we're going to make this channel a 2-tone paging, this is where we would do it. This is also where we would say, yes, this channel has push to talk if we want it to, and we can. You'll either have to know if it's going to be beginning and or both of the transmission. And when you push the talk and you hear a that's you know that's MDC or fleet sync. If it's in digital, you won't hear that noise at all. It goes away. It's very nice. I'm gonna leave that none for now. All right, so don't really need to mess with any of that. Voice scrambler. We're getting into encryption. You could make this channel encrypted if you want. It works better in the digital, but we'll leave this one blank for now. So this is our zone 1 analog. Now we're going to create a new zone. We're going to add it to the list. We can add it or we can insert it. I'm going to add it to the list. There's our new zone. I'm going to come up over here. I'm going to make this one the NXDN zone. So I'm going to go 2, NXDN. Okay, I'm going to put in my frequency, 450. Now I have a choice, analog, NXDN, or mixed. I'm going to do this one NXDN. Notice that I can't put anything in here. It's a digital channel. Use RAN codes 1 through 63. Real simple. Come over here. Digital gives you the option of narrow or very narrow. And then you got your channel name. Alright, so now we're going to go to our zone edit. Mostly the same stuff. We got our home channel if you want it. Primary keys again. Multi-zone scanning. It kind of picked that up from before. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I need to go to this one. Alright, home channel. I can do one. Okay, we want to make this a multi-zone. You can, if you have 20 zones and you really know that you don't want to scan that zone, you can just leave it a single. So you only scan if you're in the zone. Okay, most of this is the same. You got some P25, it's grayed out though. Okay, and you can go to channel edit. Same stuff, only gives you the NXDN options. Talk around key if you want it. There's our RAN codes. This is an advanced feature, don't mess with that. Now let's go back to our channels. I'm going to make this one mixed. Now I have both. Okay, so you noticed you can do channel spacing in analog, channel spacing in digital. So when this radio receives a channel or receives an incoming call, whichever one it hears in digital or analog, it will open up the speaker for both. When transmitting, I don't know. Let's go to channel edit. I don't know if it gives us an option of which one it wants to do first. I think it's default digital first.
Okay, so there's going to be 2 antennas on here.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to create our third zone. Add. E25. Oh, very important. Anytime you make a change, watch what happens. If I go here, I go 6, and I go over here and I click the away, come back. Oh, it did change it. Usually when you make a change, you have to hit the tab key to the next box or it won't save it. So that's very important. Always hit the tab key after you've entered something in. So this is our P25 zone. Oh, I gotta change the system. Okay, it's gonna clear the data. Very important to note, if you've got 100 channels in there and you decide to change your thing, it's gonna clear it. Nothing you can do about it. You can also copy from an analog to an analog or an NXDN zone personality to an NXDN, but you can't go over here and copy these 5 frequencies from P25 to an NXDN because the formats aren't the same. Channel type, there's our analog again. Now we have P25 and mixed. So I'm just going to go P25, tab. These don't work because they're great because it's not analog. NAC codes. That's P25's version of tones. Remember, NXDN had RAN. This one has NAC. You can change that. Also, you also have channel spacing. P25 is only narrowband. Again, we're going to go to zone edit. Same basic stuff. Home channel. We're going to do the primary. I'm going to do a multi-zone. Channel edit, basically the same thing. You've got all the same stuff. In this case, it's a 25. Talk around, same old. And P25 specific information. Don't mess with this unless you know what you're doing. There we are. Okay, so those are our zones.